Hello everybody and welcome back to Mommy Talk. So today I'm going to be talking about my 24th week of pregnancy. I am officially 24 weeks today, which means that I have reached what is known as V-Day or viability day. Even though technically I think there have been a couple babies that have been born before 24 weeks. So basically what that means, if you haven't heard of that before, it's considered, the baby is considered viable at this point and has like a reasonable chance of surviving outside of the womb should it happen to be born at this time, which hopefully, it won't be, but it's always kind of exciting to like reach that milestone. So I still have lots of time to cook. I don't have any signs or symptoms of going early or anything like that. It always is kind of like the sense of relief to like reach this day. So for 24 weeks, the things I have to report on, I am officially like completely and totally out of breath. You might actually hear me like breathing in really deeply quite frequently throughout this video. I just feel like I can't get enough breath. And honestly, like I kind of have to like sit down or lay down quite frequently because otherwise, like when I'm standing and I can't get a breath, my heart literally starts to race and I feel like I'm gonna pass out. Like even this morning I was trying to do my hair and I was trying to do my makeup and I kept having to take like these really frequent breaths and I was kind of like feeling my pulse and it was like bum 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 bum. I mean, it was like really fast and I felt like I was gonna black out at any moment, which has happened to me quite a few times. Not only not pregnant, but definitely while pregnant. So when I start to feel that way, like I really take it seriously and I have to go like sit down or lay down because otherwise I probably will black out. So I don't know if that's something that's like common with other people in pregnancy, but it's always been the case for me. I do have to wear a belly band, which I actually just took off to sit down and record this video, but this is like this, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell, but like, I don't know, it's like this belly band that goes under your belly and it, it's Velcro. So it kind of just like helps hold everything together. So not only does it help provide like back support, but for me it helps kind of lift up my bump a little bit so that I can kind of feel like I'm getting at least a little bit more air. Even now, like talking is like really hard. But it kind of helps like lift it up a little bit, and sometimes, not always, but sometimes that helps me feel like I can get just a little bit more breath in. But usually the only way to kind of even help that is to kind of lay down like on my side, just so I can feel like I'm getting enough oxygen, because I really do feel like oxygen deprived and it's really an uncomfortable feeling. So the other thing that I thought that I would mention isn't really so much a symptom to report on or anything like that, but I kind of thought maybe I would just mention it in the fact that like maybe, because whenever I make these updates, sometimes I get really personal or vulnerable because I really have the intention of like, if people watch these vlogs, I feel like it might be helpful to them in some way. So I try to be as like open and honest about stuff, even if it's kind of TMI as possible. And one of the things that I felt like I needed to kind of talk about is the fact that I haven't taken my prenatals like at all this pregnancy. I've attempted to take them like a couple times, but the horse pills that were prescribed to me are so disgusting. They smell disgusting, they taste disgusting, they're so big, it's so hard for me to get them down, especially with just water. Normally I can swallow like multiple pills at once, but with that pill I have to take it like just by itself, and even then a lot of times it like won't go down. It's really hard to get that pill down, and more often than not it just makes me sick, either immediately afterwards and I end up gagging it back up, or when it hits my like stomach or whatever, it literally just makes me vomit. So I haven't been taking them like at all this pregnancy, and I know that there are alternatives like for Lyric, because this has been pretty much like this for all my pregnancies, and I did do like gummy prenatal vitamins, which I don't even know if they have the same effect or not, but I just couldn't afford to pay for them out of pocket because prenatal vitamins are like really, really expensive if you don't have them like prescribed to you, if they're not like covered by insurance, which in the US, I don't know how it is for other countries, but in the US it works like that. Obviously gummy vitamins are not covered by insurance, so that's been an issue, and I think about that a lot. I think about like, well, maybe I should just try again, and then every time I've attempted to, I just like gag it up and I'm like, you know what, forget it. But it does make me concerned, like what if I'm like not letting my baby develop properly or something like that. I don't know. It's just something that I think about sometimes, which kind of like leads me into like the next thing. Like I kind of wanted to talk about the fact that like I'm making these pregnancy vlogs, and a lot of times when I feel like when people make these pregnancy vlogs, they're on like their first or maybe second child, you know. A lot of times first time mommies make these vlogs and they don't know anything about pregnancy or motherhood or, you know, anything like that. So a lot of everything is like brand new and they have a lot to think about. Whereas me, I feel like I want to make these pregnancy vlogs because I want to document this special time in my life. It's baby number 5, but each pregnancy is just a little bit different. And also I just want to be able to like look back and see like how I was feeling. And I feel like I'm not really doing that with these vlogs. Like the whole point is like to kind of look back and see like what was going on this week. And I want to kind of bring that more into my vlogs about how I was feeling, because I don't really do like the apps anymore. I don't really keep track of that stuff. Like I feel like I'm pretty well established in like what to do as far as pregnancy, you know. But as far as like how I'm feeling, I'm definitely so much more like laid back about this pregnancy than I was like my first or even my second. There's just not a lot of things that I like worry about. Just really like the basic kind of stuff. Like at this point in my pregnancy, I'm like thinking like, when's the last time I felt the baby kick? Any kind of major pains or anything like that, you know, obviously should be, you know, questioned or anything like that. But for the most part, I just don't have like a lot of things that I'm like doing, and it almost kind of makes me feel bad because I feel like I'm not doing enough, and I'm not taking like a bunch of really cute pictures. I'm not like doing a bunch of like, I don't get to decorate like a nursery or anything like that this time around. I think also that has to do with like just where I'm at in my life right now. Like obviously this pregnancy was a little bit unexpected or a lot unexpected, and I just don't really have the space for like an extra nursery. And honestly at this point, even if I did, I don't think I would spend the time or money to decorate a nursery, just because knowing me, the baby just would like never use it, and so it would be kind of like a waste. But yeah, there is a part of me that kind of like wishes I was doing more, or you know, like enjoying this pregnancy more. And I actually feel like this pregnancy is going by really, really fast. And because it's probably gonna be my last baby, I don't really have any plans to have any more children after this. I feel like it's going by so fast, and I feel like I'm not enjoying it to like the maximum capacity that I could be enjoying it. So that's just like something that I think about too. All right, moving on. Other symptoms that I have to report is just that my memory is like so crappy right now. I can't remember like anything. I literally have to make sure that I write down like everything, like when it happens, like if there's a doctor's appointment or something that I need to get done, I literally will have to write it down somewhere. And normally I write it down on my hand. I don't know if you saw like in my last video, there was like writing on my hand. It was a list of things to do or to remember, because that's literally how bad, because even if I write it down like in my phone or in a notebook or something like that, I'll forget to look at where I wrote it down. So if I have it on my hand, it's literally like right in front of my face and like catches my attention. So that's what I have to do. Like right when I think about it, if I do think about it, I'm like, okay, I gotta write this down on my hand right this second, otherwise I'm gonna forget again and then I won't ever do it. So that is definitely like, my memory is just like, pregnancy brain is such a real thing. It's such a real phenomenon, and nobody will ever convince me of that otherwise, because I've been through this so many times and I'm just like, this is a real thing. And then it does translate into mom brain, which is not quite as bad as pregnancy brain, but it is still pretty bad. And I feel like you really don't start to regain that until like a couple years after the baby's born. Like, you know, I feel like even just nursing really affects that. Like it takes brain power to like make milk or something, apparently. I don't know. I could be just like pulling that out of nowhere, but I really do fully believe that pregnancy brain is such a thing, and it translates into mom brain, and it takes quite a while to like regain kind of like that mental stability back. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's just like, it's a real thing, people, okay? It is. This week I have been craving a lot of sweet stuff. So nothing in particular, like there's nothing like that I think of like, okay, this specific like dessert or this specific like baked good or candy bar or anything like that. But I've been craving a lot of like sweet types of foods, and that even includes like fruit. Like I really want to just eat anything sweet. So just like a lot of fruit or cake or ice cream or chocolate, like anything sweet. I just have been craving a lot of sweet stuff, which I really have to watch out for because I feel like I'm already gaining like a lot of weight. I actually haven't looked at the scales in like a couple weeks, but I know I have like a doctor's appointment I think coming up soon. So of course you're gonna be like forced to look at your weight, and I'm just like a little too worried that I'm gonna just like gain a bunch of weight too fast and then I'm gonna have like a hard time losing it, because this is, you know, obviously my 5th baby and everything, and I don't know. It's a little concerning. I just don't want to gain too much weight. So baby is the size of an eggplant this week, and I still have not followed through on actually like going to the grocery store, so I'm just gonna Photoshop an eggplant. Baby is the size of an eggplant this week. Don't you like my real actual eggplant that I'm holding in my hand here? So baby is the size of an eggplant this week. Wiggly as ever, super active, especially in the morning times when I first wake up, which is always kind of a comfort. Not always after I eat. A lot of times I'm on my feet like most of the day, if not all day. I think a lot of that movement makes the baby sleepy, but oftentimes like when I'm just laying down, baby will get like really active. So I was kind of going into like my emotions about this pregnancy as far as, you know, it being like my 5th baby and everything like that. I am really excited about this baby. Like in the beginning it was kind of hard for me to feel like connected and bonded. It's because I had like so much other stuff going on. I couldn't really even think about like the baby that much, and it was kind of hard for me to feel like connected to it. But now that I've kind of gotten to like the stage where like I feel the baby, like I feel kicks, and I'm, you know, really showing, and you know, people are asking me about it and I'm talking about it and stuff like that, like I'm starting to feel like really excited, and I definitely feel like there's a bond now and a connection now, and like I love this baby so much already and feel like it's just going by so fast. I just kind of wish it would just slow down a little bit. But I also kind of wanted to talk about like the whole single mom part of it. So like obviously my titles have been like single mom pregnancy update, because obviously like I'm a single mom now, and I feel like I kind of don't really touch on that really at all in the pregnancy vlog, so I thought maybe I'd kind of do that. And yes, I do still plan on releasing like a Q&A video at some point. It's gonna happen. I just don't know when. School gets out for the summer in a couple weeks for both me and the boys, so I'm gonna be probably having a lot more time to dedicate to like recording and editing and stuff like that, but definitely editing, because that's really like one of the biggest things that takes so much time. Recording isn't really that big of a problem, it's the editing part. It takes so much time, and I have to be able to have time where the kids aren't just like interrupting me every 5 seconds, because editing itself, ah, my nose is so itchy. Because editing itself can take, you know, a couple hours or a few hours or quite a few hours, even without any interruptions. So when you do have like the kids, you know, kind of coming in on you, plus, you know, they can't just be left alone for that amount of time. So really the only time to edit would be like really late at night or really early in the morning, and honestly I'm just too tired to get up any earlier than I already do. And a lot of times I just end up going to bed, or I'm too tired to edit that late at night after the kids go to bed. So anyway, kind of got sidetracked a little bit, but basically I kind of wanted to touch on like the single mom part of it. So overall, I feel like me kind of like being by myself with 4 kids, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I don't know how you do it. And they would say that even before I was like a single mom. But honestly, like the kids and I have gotten into a really good like groove and routine for the most part, and I don't really feel like it's too overwhelming most of the time. Every once in a while it would be like, okay, yeah, it'd be nice to have help to like get this one who's running in this direction and while I get this one or something. But honestly, like Parker is such a huge help to me, and all the boys, you know, like I just feel like I've actually had a couple people come over and they like kind of just observing like the kids' behavior, and they realize like how independent my kids are. So like even Zuko, who's 2, and I think that also comes from watching his older brother. So we just, I mean, just our dynamic in a way, I think makes it easier. And I don't know if other families are like this, but maybe the fact that like being in a big family, there does have to be certain like, does have to be certain like things in place where it's like you have to do this by yourself because I can't manage everybody. So I think the fact that like my kids being at a certain level of independence really helps, but also just like we've kind of gotten into a groove, and it's, you know, it's really not as bad as like maybe my fears were in the beginning. There's a kind of a certain joy and happiness in the independence that is being, you know, alone with the boys. But as far as like the pregnancy part of it, I don't really think about it much because I just try to enjoy the pregnancy as much as I can. There are definitely certain things though that are like, that feel like challenging, like more challenging or just lonely. Like, you know, especially since I have had that experience of having someone with me during, you know, the different stages of pregnancy and everything. And when I would used to have someone to like rub my back while I was like throwing up, you know, that can be just like so comforting, or like helping you pick something up, or like, you know, painting your nails or something really cute, like because you can't bend over to paint your own toenails. Or just like doing little tiny things for you, like getting something from the kitchen so that you don't have to get up, because it can be really hard to get up off the couch or the bed or whatever when you're this far along, you know, just to get like water or a snack or something like that. So those kinds of things can be like, it kind of really like brings to the forefront of your mind, like this is lonely. But most of the time it's fine. It's really when like, you know, like the baby's kicking and I really want someone to be able to be like, come here quick, the baby's kicking. Or to just like talk about the baby, or like names or different things about the baby's future, or just be able to do pregnancy related things. It can be really lonely sometimes, just like not having anyone to talk about it with or share in this experience with. So I'll kind of get more into that probably next week. I didn't really take a lot of notes about that. That's just kind of like coming from like a place of me just talking about it randomly, but I'll try and take maybe more notes of like specific examples maybe in my next pregnancy vlog. So anyway, I don't think I have anything else to report on. I'm sorry, I probably have such a red nose throughout this. I'm sorry, I probably have such a red nose throughout this pregnancy vlog. My allergies are going so crazy today. I love spring and summer, but it does make it so hard for me allergy wise because I just have really terrible environmental allergies. So I probably look like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer throughout this whole video, but that's probably why, in case you're wondering. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video with a bump shot and a measurement. So this is from the side. And then with the shirt up. Oops. And a quick measurement. So like close to 40 inches. So I'm now 40 inches around in diameter, so I've gained an inch since my last pregnancy vlog. I'm so out of breath. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's all I have for today's pregnancy vlog. Make sure you guys are liking this video down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you aren't already so that you never miss an update from me. Leave comments in the comment section down below in case you have any questions or supporting words, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye guys.